In this video, I'll be showing you around your course D2L page for your Math 1401 Elementary Statistics class in summer 2020, and I'll also show you a little bit about your course Top Hat page for statistics. So on the screen now, you should see what your course page will look like when you first enter it. So you'll sign into eLearning with your same username and password that you use for your UNG email. And the first thing you'll see is the list of classes. So once you've clicked Elementary Statistics Summer 2020, you should see the screen that I have now. The first thing I want to bring your attention to is this largest portion on the right-hand side, which is the announcements for the course. So your professor can post an announcement here with relevant information for you, although most of your announcements should come through email. So the first thing you want to make sure when you're taking these online courses is that you're checking your email every day or even more than once a day. And if you have a smartphone and you can get your email sent directly to your phone as notifications, then that's even better, because then you'll know the information that your instructor is trying to communicate with you right away. But you may also receive some information through this announcements page, and you can see there are already a couple of announcements here. The first announcement is your syllabus, a link to your syllabus, as well as the text of your syllabus is here with your professor's name and your professor's email address. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of this syllabus announcement, you'll also see that there's a course calendar that your professor has prepared for you, and it will tell you which lessons you should be working on and which assignments you have due. And you'll want to make sure that you're pacing yourself and following up with the lessons according to this schedule to stay on track. Then even below the calendar, there's one more announcement called How to Get Started. And if you click here, these links, it will take you to the UNG website with some just general advice for how to get started with an online course. So the first thing is to read the syllabus and review the calendar. There is a separate video going over the syllabus, just like you would on the first day of an in-person class go over the syllabus. There is a video, so that's the first thing you should do. Read the syllabus and watch that video. Review the mandatory attendance requirements. For every online class, you do have mandatory attendance requirements, and those are discussed in the syllabus video. And then there are just some helpful links here. So what to do if you need IT assistance, assistance with e-learning, online tutoring, and so on. So those links are there for you in the announcements. I'm going to scroll back up, and you'll notice that on the left side here, there is actually a calendar in D2L, but I do recommend that you adhere to the due dates as they are in Top Hat, because most of your due dates are actually going to be in Top Hat, but they're just presented here for your convenience. And you also want to follow the calendar in your syllabus. So now we're back at the top of the screen, and you can see there is a box here on the top left called Content Browser, where you can click through the modules of the course and view the course content. But I don't think it's the most user-friendly way to navigate through the course. So I would prefer to click this content link at the top on this blue bar. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and I recommend that you go through the course this way. So I'm going to click Content, and what you'll see if you look along the left column here is a table of contents, and each of the modules for the course, Module 0, Module 1, and so on, is loaded here with all of the materials that you need for the course for each module. So the first module that you want to look at is the one called Start Here. So if we click Start Here, then as you can see, it's opened up the Start Here module, and I can see that there are 3 folders in this module: the Introduction, the Syllabus, and the Mandatory Attendance Activities. Inside the Introduction folder, we just have one page, and it's called Introduction to Elementary Statistics, and it's basically containing the same information as your syllabus. So this is just posted in one more place. Now that I've clicked this link, I want to point out that across the top of my screen here, I have a series of breadcrumbs that allow me to go back either 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, or as many steps back in the navigation as I want. So if I just wanted to go back to the Overview and Objectives folder, I would click here. Or if I want to go back to the Introduction folder, I would click here. But instead, I want to go all the way back to the Start Here module and see everything. So I'm going to click Start Here, and it's going to take us back to where we were. So the next folder in the Start Here module is the syllabus folder, and inside the syllabus folder you'll find a few things. The first link is a PDF copy of your syllabus. So if you're the type of person who likes to have a printed document to refer to, then you can actually print the PDF syllabus from here. And then the schedule, which is included in the syllabus, is also included here as a separate PDF. If you wanted to print out your schedule, if that helps you to stay organized, you can do that here. And then below that is the link to the syllabus video that I mentioned. So if you click that link, it will open up the syllabus video wherein a lot of things are explained about your homework, your tests, your quizzes, your grades, and how the course is going to work. So definitely watch the syllabus video. And let me go back to Start Here. Below that is the information about the mandatory attendance activities, which, as I said, are discussed a little bit further in the syllabus video, but you want to make sure that you complete these mandatory attendance activities, because this is how your professor will be doing role verification for all of your online courses. So if you're enrolled in more than one online course, you have to make sure you complete it for each individual course, a quiz and a discussion. So you have to do these, but these will be the only quiz and discussion that will take place in ELC for this course. The rest is going to take place in Top Hat, which I'll show you in just a minute. Finally, in the Start Here module at the bottom, there are some of the same links that I was already showing you from the UNG page, like online tutoring and tech support. There's also a link to the Net Etiquette video, or the Netiquette video, which will give you some guidelines for how to conduct yourself within the online classroom to make sure that you're respecting others as well as presenting yourself in a professional way. And importantly, there's the system checker here. Because this is a fully online course, you need to make sure that you have all of the tools you need, like the right type of computer, the right type of operating system, and those things. So that's what the system checker is going to check. If you don't have the right system, then you may not be able to participate in the online course, and you want to know that sooner rather than later. So that covers the Start Here module. Now I just want to show you what the course content modules would look like, just an example of one, and then we'll take a look at Top Hat. In the Student Resources section here, you'll find that your instructor has put basically every document that you'll need throughout the course. First of all, a couple of open resources textbooks for you to reference. His own lecture notes for the entire course are here, the blank lecture notes as well as the filled in lecture notes. So if you're the type of person who likes to watch the lecture video and fill in with your instructor, which you should, then you can print blank lecture notes and take your own notes. Below that, though, if you need to refer to the completed lecture notes, they're there. And then below them is a folder of Excel spreadsheets, because in this course, rather than using calculators, your teacher is going to have these Excel spreadsheets programmed for you. So this is a really cool way to do things like find mean and standard deviation and do t-test and z-test. And then below that are tables. So all of these things, the tables, the spreadsheets, the lecture notes, and the textbook, are just learning materials that you'll be using throughout this course, and they're all here for you at the beginning in this Student Resources tab. Then I'm opening the Course Content tab, where, as I already showed you, are all of the modules for the course. The first module is Module 0, and if we open it up, you'll see that the first page, Objectives and Overview, it's going to give you objectives for the course, so things you should be able to do by the time you finish your course, and a brief overview about what is statistics. And then Module 1 will be the first of the main modules for the course. So Module 1 is going to contain, again, an overviews and objectives page where you'll see specific objectives for this module, as well as an overview of the material that will be in this section. And then if we go back to Module 1, your professor has organized for you the lecture note for the 2 sections that you'll be doing, as well as links to your Top Hat page, your lecture videos, your homework in Top Hat, your recitation. So these links are going to take you to Top Hat, and all of this work you're going to be doing in Top Hat. So you don't actually have to follow the links from D2L. These are just here for your convenience. So let me show you instead what it's going to look like when you're in Top Hat. So this is the Top Hat screen, and when you're logged in, along the left-hand side here, you can see, similar to what we had in D2L, everything is organized into folders. The first folder at the top, OpenStax Statistics, is the free textbook. And then the second folder is actually your first module. So your first module is sampling and data. And what you'll make sure that you do is open that folder, and within it you'll find other folders. So the first lesson within the module is called Introduction to the Practice of Statistics. Then if we open that folder, there's a page where again you're given the objectives for the lesson, and this is basically your lesson. Here are video lectures that your professor has created for you. So you have to watch these videos and you have to read this lecture. And built into the lecture are questions. You have to answer these questions, and you do get credit for them. So they are required for your grade. You are graded on them. This is a part of your grade. And this is what's going to count as your discussion grade for this course. So simply reading the lecture, watching the lecture video, and answering the question is how you get credit for your discussion grade. Now I also want to point out that at the top of the page here, because this is an assignment for a grade, it will show you that it's scheduled to start June 1st, the first day of the class, and if you click details, you can see the due date. So the due date is 12 a.m. on the 7th, so just to make sure it's not confusing, that would be Saturday night, June 6th at midnight. So Saturday night at midnight on June 6th or June 7th at 12 a.m. is when this has to be completed by. That's the cutoff. You need to make sure that you've watched the lecture and answered these questions. There's also a homework assignment for every lesson. And again, if I click details here at the top, I can see the start and end date. And it is also due Saturday at midnight. So inside the homework are more questions for you to answer. You'll also notice that there is a discussion page. So you're not graded on participating in the discussion. It's not mandatory other than the attendance discussion in D2L in the first week. So these discussions are just for you to ask your instructor a question or ask your peers a question or just to discuss. So make sure that, again, you are behaving professionally, you're respecting others. And if it's a question that you need a faster response on, you might try emailing your professor instead. So that's one lesson, and that's basically how it's going to work over and over and over. You're going to consult your course calendar and you're going to see what lessons you need to complete. You're going to go into Top Hat, you're going to read the lecture, watch the videos, answer the questions in the lecture. Then you're going to complete the homework assignment in Top Hat. And you're going to repeat this for every lesson. Then once every week or so, you're going to have a recitation in Top Hat. That's going to count as your quiz grade. And you can see that there's a recitations folder here as well. And each recitation has its due date. And then finally, you'll be taking your tests and your final exam in Top Hat as well. But your professor will provide you with more information about all of these things, the tests and the recitations, as they're coming up. that is basically the conclusion of this introduction to your elementary statistics course. So I just want to remind you that because this is a fully online course, you are responsible for staying on top of your due dates, pacing yourself, making sure that you are giving yourself time to study, time to do your homeworks, time to do your recitations, and turning everything in on time. As I mentioned, there is a separate video going over the syllabus, so please watch that video. And if you've watched this video and the syllabus video and you still have questions, email your professor.